Discover the latest updates in the realms of cryptocurrency, politics, technology, and beyond. Stay informed with News Source Scrawlers edition from June 16, 2025, which provides a comprehensive daily news digest.
Demonstrators are assembling throughout the United States for nationwide anti-Trump rallies known as No Kings. Meanwhile, Customs and Border Protection, CBP, has confirmed the use of Predator drones over Los Angeles to assist Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. There are reports that Russia is spreading conspiracy theories regarding the protests in LA. Some are referring to this movement as an American Spring, highlighting the rapid growth of nonviolent protests in the U.S.
Chinese companies specializing in artificial intelligence are reportedly bypassing U.S. chip restrictions by smuggling suitcases filled with hard drives. These hard drives are being used to train AI models in Malaysia, where they rent servers for this purpose. A U.S. commerce official has stated that Huawei's production of AI semiconductors will be capped at 200,000 units by the year 2025. NVIDIA has unveiled its ambitious AI master plan for Europe, which includes the establishment of 20 factories, significant advancements in quantum computing, and a tenfold increase in computing power. NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, has expressed confidence that Europe's current shortage in AI computing capabilities will soon be addressed. Iran has declared its exit from the sixth round of discussions with the United States, labeling the nuclear negotiations as meaningless following an Israeli airstrike. This decision comes despite former President Trump's offer of a second chance. The Israeli strikes have resulted in the deaths of several of Iran's most influential figures, including military and nuclear leaders, and have targeted over 100 locations in Iran, including nuclear sites. According to Reuters, experts indicate that the damage to Iran's nuclear facilities remains minimal. The UN Nuclear Watchdog Board has determined that Iran is not adhering to its obligations, prompting Iran to announce the establishment of a new nuclear enrichment site in response to the UN's criticism. A Chinese envoy has called on Israel to cease its risky attacks on Iran, cautioning about the serious consequences that could arise.
The National Weather Service in the United States has issued the first-ever heat advisory for Alaska. A study indicates that China's Yellow River is expected to experience ice jams as a result of global warming. According to EU scientists, May was the second hottest month globally on record. Trump has redirected the focus of deportations, temporarily halting most raids on farms, hotels, and restaurants, while instructing ICE to intensify deportation efforts in cities that are strongholds for Democrats. The Washington Post notes that the United States might experience a net loss of immigrants for the first time in half a century. The Wall Street Journal reports that ICE raids have caused Latino shoppers to go into hiding, negatively impacting major brands. Trump asserts his authority in defining what America First entails, and his administration is contemplating the addition of 36 countries to the travel ban list.
Elon Musk expressed regret over some of his posts about Donald Trump, stating he had gone too far. The White House press secretary mentioned that Trump acknowledged Musk's apology. According to the New York Times, Musk had a conversation with Trump before issuing his message of regret. Trump referred to Musk as a friend who had become a bit unusual. In the United States, federal agencies were reportedly monitoring foreigners visiting Musk, concerned they might be attempting to influence him.
Rioters in Northern Ireland have set fire to homes and a refuge site. CNN has reported that the Trump administration has informed migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela that their legal status has been terminated. A large crowd gathered for a second protest in the Netherlands, demanding government action against Israel.
Trump announces that the trade agreement with China is finalized, with tariffs established at 55%, while Chinese-supported Temu begins selling directly to the U.S. following a trade truce between Washington and Beijing. The Wall Street Journal indicates that China has imposed a 6-month restriction on the facilitation of rare earth export licenses, coinciding with Trump's statement that China will provide rare earths, and the U.S. will permit student entry. Reuters notes that the U.S.-China trade truce has not resolved the issue of rare earths intended for military use, according to sources.
The European Central Bank's Christine Lagarde has softly encouraged China to modify its current practices. An appeals court has ruled that the tariffs imposed by former President Trump can remain in place for an extended period. France has implemented a ban on influencers who promote ultra-fast fashion.
The Russian president has enacted a law that confirms an agreement for constructing a petroleum product pipeline in Congo. Germany is prioritizing rail infrastructure in its €500 billion investment initiative. Vietnam has been recognized as a partner country by BRICS, as announced by Brazil, while the United States is urging Vietnam to reduce its reliance on Chinese technology, according to sources.
The U.S. Actors Union has halted a year-long strike related to video games after reaching a preliminary agreement concerning artificial intelligence. Disney and Universal have taken legal action against Midjourney, accusing the company of creating AI-generated versions of their most iconic characters. While the number of visits to pirate websites has decreased to 216 billion annually, there is a significant rise in the piracy of manga.
Researchers in China have discovered the initial proof suggesting that artificial intelligence might possess the capability to think in a manner similar to humans. Mattel has partnered with OpenAI to assist in the creation of toys and various other products. China has taken the step of closing down AI tools during the period of nationwide college examinations.
IBM claims breakthrough in quantum error correction. The U.S. Navy supports the right to repair following a $13 billion carrier crew's experience of being half-fed due to contractor-locked ovens. A U.S. judge decides that Deere must confront the FTC's antitrust lawsuit regarding repair costs.
The White House has suggested eliminating the 988 suicide hotline services specifically designed for LGBTQ youth. In Japan, there is a call for the government to adopt more pessimistic population projections due to a significant decrease in birth rates. An Air India plane crash has resulted in the deaths of at least 241 people, with only one passenger surviving. Shopify has collaborated with Coinbase and Stripe in a significant stablecoin agreement. The CEO of GameStop has stated that the company's future prospects do not lie in the gaming industry. Walmart and Amazon are currently investigating the possibility of creating their own stablecoins. humans have observed the sun's poles for the first time. Unusual radio signals have been identified emanating from the ice in Antarctica. Experiencing several severe climate events while pregnant might have a cumulative impact on the development of a child's brain.
The U.S. Justice Department has stated that Donald Trump has the authority to revoke the status of national monuments that safeguard natural landscapes. Trump has declared his intention to revert the names of several military bases to their original titles, which were altered during Joe Biden's presidency. Furthermore, the Grammy Awards have introduced a new category called Best Traditional Country Album, following Beyoncé's recent win.
YouTube aims to safeguard free speech by reducing its content moderation efforts. A source indicates that the Washington Post is conducting an investigation into a cyber attack targeting journalists' email accounts. Meta's Llama 3.1 has the capability to remember 42% of the content from the first Harry Potter book. Whole Foods has issued a warning about potential product shortages following a cyber attack on its main distributor, UNFI. The United Nations has raised concerns that terrorists might exploit driverless cars to create deadly weapons known as slaughterbots. Citizen Lab has discovered that spyware developed by a US-backed Israeli company has been used to target journalists in Europe.
The UK regulatory body is conducting an investigation into potential violations of online safety standards on platforms such as 4chan and others. The UK government is set to launch a national investigation into organised child sexual abuse, following significant pressure from Elon Musk. In France, a group of drivers has initiated a lawsuit against Tesla, citing Elon Musk's right-wing political views as the reason for their legal action. The World Bank has decided to remove its restriction on providing financial support for nuclear energy projects, which is expected to give a significant boost to the nuclear energy industry. The World Bank has indicated that the 2020s are projected to be the most economically challenging decade globally since the 1960s. The United Nations is urging for more rapid and decisive action to combat child labor, as the world is currently on track to fall short of the target to eliminate this practice by the year 2025. Trump announces plans to phase out FEMA post-hurricane season, believing governors can manage disasters. In the United States, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, is taking steps to eliminate restrictions on greenhouse gas emissions from power plants. The Trump administration has decided to withdraw from an agreement with Northwest tribes aimed at restoring salmon populations. The United States is reassessing the AUKUS agreement to align it with the America First policy, which an expert suggests is a strategy to maximize financial gains from its allies. China's nuclear arsenal is rapidly increasing, and by 2030, its intercontinental ballistic missiles might reach the numbers of those possessed by the United States and Russia, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI. Researchers have also cautioned that the global expansion of nuclear weapons is primarily being driven by the US and Russia. Saab has made history by testing an AI-powered combat capability on its Gripen jets. Axios has reported that Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has requested the United States to facilitate negotiations between Israel and Syria. In the context of Israel's Operation Rising Lion, former U.S. President Donald Trump has refuted any involvement of the United States, while Iran asserts it possesses solid proof of American backing. U.S. officials have disclosed that Trump vetoed an Israeli plan to assassinate Iran's supreme leader. Trump has also suggested that Iran and Israel should fight it out to achieve a resolution. Axios further reports that Israel's strike on Iran was planned over an 8-month period. Elon Musk has announced the activation of Starlink in Tehran after the Iranian regime disconnected citizens from the internet during Israeli strikes. The United States is also working to restore VOA's Persian service amid the ongoing Iran-Israel conflict.
The Fulbright Board has stepped down following allegations of political interference by aides to former President Trump. In the United States, the Congressional Budget Office, CBO, has indicated that the GOP tax bill would impose an annual cost of $1,600 on low-income Americans while increasing the earnings of the highest earners by $12,000. President Trump has disclosed an income exceeding $600 million, derived from cryptocurrency, golf, and licensing fees, including a $57 million profit from his involvement with the crypto venture World Liberty Financial.
France's ex-president Nicolas Sarkozy has been deprived of his Legion of Honor medal due to allegations of corruption. In Minnesota, Vance Bolter, a suspected assassin, has been apprehended. Bolter, who was previously appointed by Tim Walz, is being sought in connection with the politically motivated assassination of a lawmaker and her husband, who were attacked by a masked assailant. Reuters has reported that U.S. Marines have detained a civilian in Los Angeles for the first time, as captured on video. Yi Fei, China's inaugural victor at the Le Mans 24 Hours race, expresses that he feels like he's in a dream after achieving a historic triumph alongside Robert Kubica and Antonio Hansen in a privately owned Ferrari. Konami and Bloober have confirmed that Silent Hill 1 is set to receive a complete remake. An Oregon restaurant has introduced lab-grown salmon to its menu following the FDA's approval of the cell-cultured product.
In the United States, fraudulent individuals are employing artificial intelligence to register fictitious students in virtual courses, subsequently pilfering financial assistance. El Pius observes that counterfeit bands and synthetic music are increasingly dominating platforms like YouTube and Spotify. Wikipedia has temporarily halted the creation of AI-generated summaries following criticism from its editors.
Macron extends assistance for Greenland security in response to Trump's threats, while Hegseth mentions that the Pentagon has prepared plans for a potential invasion of Greenland if required. The Norwegian monarch has made a visit to the polar region of Svalbard, reflecting an increasing interest in the Arctic. Furthermore, Canada plans to intensify its mining efforts due to rising geopolitical tensions, as stated by former Minister Bill Morneau.
In a recent phone conversation, Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump engaged in discussions about the ongoing tensions in the Middle East and the conflict in Ukraine. French President Emmanuel Macron has dismissed Trump's suggestion that Putin could act as a mediator in the Israel-Iran crisis. Trump has affirmed that the United States will continue to back Israeli airstrikes. Following attacks on Tel Aviv and Haifa by Iran, Israel has warned that residents of Tehran will face consequences. These attacks have resulted in the deaths of 8 people and injuries to dozens more.
Iran asserts that Pakistan would retaliate with nuclear weapons against Israel if the latter were to use nuclear force against Pakistan. The United States has informed Israel that it will not engage in any Israeli military action targeting Iran. Furthermore, 4 days prior, former President Trump cautioned that an attack on Iran might indeed occur if a nuclear agreement is not reached. Iran's parliament is reportedly in the process of drafting a bill to withdraw from the Non-Proliferation Treaty. NPR has noted that North Koreans, who are currently fighting for Russia against Ukraine, have become adept at using drones in warfare. Russia has moved its strategic bombers following a drone attack by Ukraine, which was described as a spider's web. There is a warning that the United States should focus on enhancing its drone defense capabilities to prevent experiencing a similar situation to Russia. Furthermore, 10 days ago, Ukraine released new footage showcasing bold AI-driven strikes that severely damaged Putin's bomber fleet.
The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, plans to incorporate artificial intelligence, AI, into the drug approval process to significantly boost efficiency. There have been remarks suggesting that the ancient miasma theory might provide insight into Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s decisions regarding vaccines. Furthermore, digital rights organizations have reported that AI therapy bots are engaging in activities that are considered illegal.
Top songs on YouTube music charts, Global Edition from June 6 to June 12, 2025. Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. APT by Rose and Bruno Mars. Paso Bem Solto, Slowed, by ATLXS. Shaky by Sandra Rothode and G Spark. Spotify's weekly top songs global list for the period from Friday, June 6 to Thursday, June 12, 2025, includes the following tracks: Manchild by Sabrina Carpenter, Ordinary by Alex Warren, Back to Friends by Sombre, and Die with a Smile featuring Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars.
Discover the most popular games on Steam. This list highlights the top-selling and most played games worldwide. Based on the top 100 products by revenue, from Tuesday, June 3, 2025, to Tuesday, June 10, 2025, the featured games are Counter-Strike 2, Dune, Awakening, Deltarune, Elden Ring, and Nighttragn.
CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA releases cybersecurity advisory on Simple Help RMM vulnerability.
One more drop in the ocean of AI. Jan Nano, developed by Menlo, is a streamlined language model with 4 billion parameters, crafted and trained to excel in in-depth research endeavors. It is finely tuned to collaborate effectively with Model Context Protocol (MCP) servers, facilitating smooth integration with a wide array of research tools and data repositories. This model is backed by Jan, an open-source alternative to ChatGPT that operates entirely on your personal computer. Jan offers an intuitive interface for executing local AI models, ensuring complete privacy and user control.